This conference will now be recorded.
Fine. Let me go and open the class notes. In yesterday's class, we started discussing about the SharePoint. So let me go and open the class notes. Let me go to the class notes. Then let me go to the batch 9 a.m. In yesterday's class, we discussed about what is meant by SharePoint. So let me give a quick recap, guys, what we discussed in yesterday's class. Now, see, in yesterday's class, we discussed about some introduction points to SharePoint. We know that what is the definition of SharePoint. SharePoint is a web-based application or a software which is used to store and manage the organizational business data. And one more definition I'm keeping here, it is a cloud-based data source software or a platform. And I'm keeping here some of the points what the SharePoint can do. And then by consolidating all these points, I'm keeping one final definition here, what the actual definition for SharePoint. So this is the definition. And then we discussed about who developed the SharePoint, Microsoft company, in which year? In the year 2001. And what type of software the SharePoint is? It is a data storage and a data management software. And also we understand what is the block diagram of SharePoint. In yesterday's class, we discussed about what is the block diagram for SharePoint. So we understand in the SharePoint how we are going to store the data. We understand this block diagram of SharePoint in yesterday's class. Along with this, we understand a few more points. We understand what is meant by a site. We know that what is meant by a site. And what are the different types of sites we are having. We are having the team site, and one more is what? Communication site. We know that what is the differences between the team site and communication site. And also while creating the sites in the SharePoint, there are some privacy settings is there. What is this private and what is this public? We discussed in yesterday's class. And then once after creating the site, within the sites, what we are going to create? What is the use of creating the sites? Within the sites, we are going to create what? Site contents. Site contents is nothing but what? List, document libraries, websites, or forms. So we know that what the site contains. What the site contains means site contents. So site contents is nothing but creating the list, creating the documents, creating the forms and pages. That is websites, web pages. So and also we discussed how to go and open the SharePoint in this class with the help of this URL office.com. Up to here, we discussed in this class. And now in today's session, that is class 2. Let me go and keep here. In today's session, that is class 2. What we'll discuss now in today's session is, so in yesterday's class, we know that how to go and create a site. We create a site in yesterday's class. What's the site name we created? Batch name 9 a.m. demo site. The site name we created, batch 9 a.m. demo site. So this is the site name we created in yesterday's class. Now, once after creating the site, we discussed about how to go and connect to a site also. Discussed about how to go and connect to a particular site. And then after connecting to the sites, in today's session, we'll be discussing one of the site content, that is list. So most of the cases, 99% of the cases, as a Power Apps developer in the SharePoint, what we need to make use of here is we are going to use of the list. So in today's session, we'll discuss about in detail how to go and create a list, how to add the columns, how to modify the columns, how to share the site information to the users, how to add the users to the site. All these things we'll discuss now in today's session. So let me go and keep here. What we are going to discuss now in today's session is, try to understand, guys. First, we'll discuss about what is a list. First, we'll discuss about what is the list, and next we'll discuss about how to go and create a list, how to create a list. Once after creating the list, we need to go and use some concepts called data types. At the time of creating the list in the SharePoint, we need to go and use one concept called data types. So what is this data types? We'll understand now in today's session. Once after this, we'll understand two more points. How to share the site, how to share the site to the users, you'll understand. And also there is one more point you are going to understand here is roles. So there are some roles will be there while sharing the site to the users. So what roles it is? Site roles. So whenever if you are adding any user or any one of the users to the sites, then there are some roles we need to provide them. What are the different roles is there? We'll discuss all those roles here. So these points we'll discuss now in today's session. Completely about what? Completely we'll discuss about the list in today's session. Fine. Now let me go and discuss. The first point we need to understand here is what is a list, guys. The first point we need to understand in today's session is what is a list. Now see, already in the yesterday's class we discussed about what is meant by a list. Already in the yesterday's class we discussed about what is meant by a list. So just copy it, copy and paste it here, guys. Now see, in yesterday's class we know that what is meant by a list means list is used to store the data in the form of columns and rows. Whenever if you want to store some data in the SharePoint in the form of columns and rows, means columns and rows is nothing but what? A table. So whenever if you want to go and store some data in the SharePoint in the form of columns and rows, then in this case we need to go and create what? We need to go and create a list. So if you are storing some data in the columns in the form of rows, then we'll call it as what? Means we'll call it as a table. This is the general case. In general, if you are storing some data in the form of columns and rows, we'll call it as a table. But in the SharePoint terminology, tables are called as what? Means tables are called as list. In the SharePoint terminology, we won't call it as a tables. We'll call it as what? A list. Now, in the SharePoint terminology, what is meant by a list means the list will contains the fields and list items. As we know that what the list contains means the list contains the fields. Fields are nothing but what? Means fields are nothing but the columns. Columns, or we'll call it as sometimes attributes. Columns are also called as attributes. And list items is nothing but data or the rows. The data in the list or table will call it as list items. So in the SharePoint terminology, what the list contains means columns are called as fields, rows are called as what? List items. So this is what is meant by list, guys. Already we know that. In the yesterday's class also we discussed what is meant by a list. Now in today's session I will show you how to go and create a list. Now how to add the columns to the list. At the time of adding the columns, we need to go and use one concept called data types. What are the different types of data types is there? When to go and use these data types, we'll discuss now. So let me go and show you how to create a list in the SharePoint. Now in order to go and create a list in the SharePoint, first of all, you need to go and open it. So in order to go and open the SharePoint, we need to go and use one web URL. What is that web URL? Office.com. Now let me go and open the SharePoint, guys, with the help of this web URL. Now go to any one of the web browser and type here office.com. Now go to the office.com and click on enter. Now it is going to open the Microsoft 365 case. Microsoft 365. Now from here we are able to access or we are able to use all the Microsoft 365 related apps. Now on the left side, in the top left side, there is an option called app launcher. If you go to the app launcher here, you are able to see some of the apps within the Microsoft. So here you are able to see the SharePoint. Few people will see the SharePoint, few people you are not able to see the SharePoint here. Only few apps will be displayed here in this app launcher. So from here you can go and click on the SharePoint. When I click on the SharePoint, it is going to open the SharePoint now. Otherwise, if you are not able to see the SharePoint here, go to the search bar. In the search bar, you can go and type here what? You can search for SharePoint. When I go and search here SharePoint, now it is displaying what? SharePoint. I said that it is an application. Application is something, but it is an app. So SharePoint application, it is opening. Now just go and click on it. When I click on the SharePoint, now it is going to open the SharePoint now. Now see, I'm opening what now? I'm opening the SharePoint. Now once if you are opening the SharePoint, within the SharePoint, the first thing you need to do what? We need to go and create a site. Now in the yesterday's class, we discussed how to create a site. So how to create the sites? You need to just go and click on what? Create site. When I click on the create site, it will ask us to create a site. Now what type of site you want to create? Whether team site or communication site. We know that when to go and create the team site. We know that when to go and create the communication site. So I don't want to create the site again. Already I created one site in the yesterday's class. So what is the site we created? Batch 9 a.m. demo site. This is the site we created. Now, once after creating the site, the next step is what? You need to go and connect to any one of the site. Now, see if I'm having the multiple sites here, guys, gallery, batch 9 a.m. demo site, and also there is something called batch 9 a.m. forms, batch 6 p.m. So demo site, multiple sites is there. I want to connect to which site? I want to connect to the site called batch 9 a.m. demo site. Now, how to go and connect to the sites? Once after creating the sites, I said that you need to go and connect to the site. Let me show you how to go and connect here, guys. To connect to the site, just go and click on to which site you want to connect. I want to connect to the site called batch 9 a.m. demo site. Just go and click on it. When I click on it, now see, it is going to connect to the site. What? The site name I am connecting here is batch 9 a.m. demo site. Now, once after connecting to the sites, the next step is what? Once after connecting to the sites, you need to go and create what within the sites. Within the sites, you need to go and create the site contents. Site contents is nothing but what? Creating the list. Now let me show you how to go and create a list in the SharePoint now. So in order to go and create the list, there are two ways you can go and create the list. There are two ways where you can go and create the list. One is, once after connecting to the site, there is an option you are able to see here called a new option, new GUI option. Just go and click on it. When I click on it, now it is displaying one item called a list. Just go and click on it. When I click on this item list, it will allow us to create a list. This is the one way. Directly you can go and click on this new. Otherwise, once after opening the site, there is in the left navigation here, there is something called site contents. I said that list comes where? List comes under the site contents. So just go and click on the site contents, guys. So when I go and click on the site contents, it will be navigating to the site contents page. From here, you can select the site content, or on the top right side, you are able to see an option called gear icon, settings. So you can go and click on the settings. Here also, you are able to see an option called site contents. So you can open the site contents from the settings, or in the left navigation, you can go and click on it. Let me open the site settings from this gear icon, guys, from the settings. Just go and click on the site content. When I click on the site content, now see, it is going to connect to what now? Automatically selecting what here? Site contents. Now this is the site content. Here you are able to see all the site contents, guys. These are some of the predefined contents it is created. Now from here, I want to create a list within the site content. Now to create a list, go and click on what? New. Click on this new GUI option. When I click on it, now it will display the items here. List, pages, document libraries, and apps. Apps is nothing but forms. Whatever I listed here in the yesterday's class, whatever I listed here, list, document libraries, forms, and pages. These things you are able to create within the site contents. Now let me go to this site contents. Now click on this new GUI option. Now what I want to create here is list. Now just go and click on the list. Click on the list. And when I click on the list, now it will allow us to create a list here, guys. It is open some pop-up window like this. From here you can go and create the list. Now see what is this? What is telling here? Create a list from here. Create a list. Now see, there are different ways where you can go and create the list. So you can start creating the list from the blank, from the scratch. If you want to create a list by your own, from the scratch, you can go and create it. Or you can create a list from an existing list. If already a list is there in the SharePoint, by taking that list as a reference, you want to create another list means yes, you can create a list from an existing list. Or if there is any data in the Excel, if you have some tables, if there is some table in the Excel, if you want to create a list by taking the Excel as a reference, you can create it. Or otherwise, if you have some data or a table in the CSV files, you can create a list by taking the CSV files as a reference. So there are different ways to create a list. One is you can create a list from the blank, from the scratch you are able to create it. Second one is if a list already exists, by taking that list as a reference, you are able to create another list. Create a list from an existing list. And third one is if there is any data in the Excel, if there is one table in the Excel, if you want to create the same table in the SharePoint, yes, you can create it by taking Excel as a reference. Or if there is some data in the CSV or a table in the CSV files, if you want to create the same table in the SharePoint, just you can go and connect to the CSV files. You can create the same table in the SharePoint also. So there are different ways where you can go and create the list, guys. Now for now, let me show you how to create a list from the blank. from the scratch how to go and create it. Let me click on the blank list. Now when I click on the blank list, now it is asking me to pass the list name. Let me pass the list name as employees. Let me pass the list name as what? Employees is the list. I want to create a list. List is nothing but a table. For what I want to create this list means to store the employees data. Now once after passing the list name, just go and click on what? Create. Just go and click on the create. Fine. Now see, this is the list just now we created. What's the list name? Employees is the list, and you are able to see here the list name to which list you are connected. Now whenever if you create a list in the SharePoint, whenever if you create a list in the SharePoint, by default the SharePoint will create one column for that list. What is that column it is creating here is title column. Whenever if you create any list in the SharePoint, by default it will take one column, it will create one column. What's the default column? Title column. Now you can change this column names here, guys. You can change this column name from title to whatever the name it is. So I will show you how to change this column name from title to, let's say I want to change it to employee number or employee ID. How to change it, I will discuss. Now see, once after creating the list, this is my list name. Now into this list, I want to add some columns. Columns are called as what in the SharePoint? Fields. Now what columns I want to create here is, let me go and list out those columns here, guys. Now see, what is the list I want to create here is, as we know that the list name is employees is the list name. Now what columns I want to create in this list means employees list. The first column is employee ID column. The first column is what? Employee ID column. The second column name is employee name column. The third column name is uh, employee salary column. And next, before that, let me keep here the job column, guys. What is the job of that employee? And next column is salary column. And next column is under which department number the employee is working. And next column I'm creating here is what is the email ID of that employee. And next column is mobile number. What is the mobile number of that employee? And then next I want to take the address of that employee. And also I want to collect the date of birth. So these are the details I want to take from that employee. So what details I want to collect from the employees? For that, I want to go and create one list here. So this is the list name. Employees is the list name, and these are the columns I'm going to create in this list. So I want to create the same list in the SharePoint now. This is the structure of the list. Structure means what is the table name and what is the column names. List name and column names. Let me go and create the same list in the SharePoint, guys. Let me go to the SharePoint now. Now I want to add, I will show you how to change this title to employee ID. The second column I want to create what here is employee name. Now how to create a column here is, there are two ways you can go and create the columns. One is by using this add columns. Just go and click on this add columns, guys. When I click on this add columns, it will open one, create a column like here. Just go and click on the next button. Just go and click on the next button here. When I click on the next button, now see here, from here you can go and create a column. Create a column. Now what's the column name I want to keep here is, the second column I want to create here is e-name. And then if you want to pass any description for this column, you can pass the description. No need to pass any descriptions. And then next one is type. Type is nothing but what means? Type is nothing but the data types. Now what is this data types means? I'm creating one column here called e-name. Employee name is the column name. Into this column, what data you want to store? Or in this column, what values I want to store? Whether you want to store the string values, whether you want to store the let us say numerical values, whether you want to store the currency, whether you want to store the date values, or whether you want to store the choice column values. What values I want to store into this employee name column? I want to store the string values. So what is the use of this data types means? Data types will describes what type of information you want to store into the columns. Data types will describes what type of information the columns can handle. Into the employee name column, what data I want to store it here is, I want to store the string values, guys. So when I go and click on this data types, these are the list of data types we are having, guys. So almost well-known data types. Single line of text is used to insert the string values, multi-line text, number, yes or no, person or group columns, date and time columns, choice columns, hyperlink column, currency column, location column, image columns. So like this, I'm having the multiple data types. So you need to go and use the proper data type. Into the employee name column, I want to insert the string values. To insert the string values, what is the data type I'm going to select here is single line of text is the data type I'm going to select. Once after selecting the data type, now just go and click on what? Save. Just click on the save button. When I click on the save button, now see automatically one new column is added. What's that column it is added now? Employee name column. Like this, I want to go and create few more columns, guys. I want to create few more columns. So this is the one way to go and add the columns to an existing list. Next, what is the another way to add the columns to a list means? Select the list in which list you want to create the columns, and then go to the settings, click on this gear icon. There is an option called the list settings. Go and click on the list settings, guys. What is this list settings means? This is the place where we can see the all the properties of the list. Now see, I'm connecting to the employees list settings. Now in this settings, list settings, if you scroll down here, you are able to see something called what? Columns. Now you can see the list of columns here. The first column is title column. Second column I create just now what? Employee name column. These are the column names, and this is the data type of those columns. Now there are few more columns is there: modified, created, created by, and modified by. That means these are the default columns, guys. Whenever if you create a list, by default it will go and create these columns. Modified means at what date and time you modified the list. Created means at what date and time you created the list. And next, created by who created that list. Next, modified by who. If there is any modification in the list, I want to understand who is modifying that list. So these are the predefined columns the SharePoint will create. Now along with these two columns, I want to add few more columns into the list. Now to add the columns to a list, here there is an option called create column. Just go and click on this create column, guys. When I click on this create column, now it is opening the create a column here, guys. It is opening what? Create column. Now here go and pass the column name. Now here just go and pass the column name. What's the next column I want to create? I think it is job column. The column name is job. Now what is the data type? So I'm going to select the data type as a choice column, guys. What values I want to store in this job column means choice values. So let us say if you scroll down here, you need to pass the choice values. What are the different jobs? Let's say the first job is junior associate. Junior associate. And second one is senior associate. And next one is data analyst. And next one is, let's say, team lead. And next one is, let's say, manager. I'm keeping only few roles here, guys, few jobs. Next one is manager. These are the job roles I'm keeping. Once after passing the job roles, next scroll down, go and click on the OK button. Just click on the OK button. When I click on this OK button, now it is going to add another column. If you scroll down here, just now I've created one more column. What? Job column. What is the data type of this column? Choice column. Like this, I want to add another one more column. Again, go and click on what? Create columns. Click on the create column. The next column I want to create what here is salary column. So let me go and create the column called salary. Pass the column name salary here. And then what is the data type I want to select here is currency. I want to select the data type as what? Currency. Let me go and select the data type as currency. And scroll down. Here you can make this column as a required column, means you can check this. By default is I don't want to make it as a required. So I'm keeping on what? No. If you want to make it as a required column, go and click on this button. And also if you want to allow only unique values into the column, go and check this. So salary column, I don't want to make it as mandatory. And also I don't want to keep the unique values. I want all the duplicate values into that column. And then if you want to pass the minimum salary and maximum salary, you can set the range here. What is the minimum salary you want to enter into that column? Salary column. What's the maximum value you want to enter in that column? So you can set the maximum salary and minimum salaries. No need to go and set for now. If you want set, you can set. And then scroll down. Just go and click on what? OK button. Just click on the OK button. Now it is going to create another column, that is salary. What is the data type? It is currency. I want to create another one more column, guys. Quickly let me go and create next columns. Department number column. Now the column name is department number. Let me select the data type as a choice. Select the data type as what? Choice. Scroll down. Let me pass the departments here, guys. Department number is equals to 10, 20, and 30. I'm having only 3 departments in the organization, 10, 20, and 30. Once after passing the department name, scroll down and click on the OK button. The another column I created here is what? Department number column. If there is another column called department number column. I want to create one more column. Go to the create columns. Now the column I want to create here is email ID. Let me pass the column name and select the data type as single line of text. Scroll down and click on the OK button. And see, I want to make this field as required. Email column is mandatory. So select this one. Click on this required. Required that this column contains information. Mandatory this column contains some information. Now go on, and also let me do one thing. Select this one also, guys. Enforcing unique values. That means each and every employee email IDs must and should be unique. No duplicate values are going to be allowed. Select these 2 options here and then click on the OK button. Click on OK. Next, I want to add another column. What the column I want to add here is mobile. Let me go and enter the column name as mobile. And let me select the data type as a number and scroll down. Let me make it as required and let me keep it as a unique values. And scroll down, click on the OK button. Just click on OK. And next, one more column I want to create here is address. Let me go and create another column, that is address column. Let me pass the column name as address. Next, what is the data type here is? I want to go and select the data type as a multi-line. Why? Because address means some multiple lines we need to go and insert. So let me go and select the data type as a multi-line of text. And then scroll down, click on OK. Next, I want to create one more column. That is what column? Date of birth. Let me create this column called date of birth. Let me pass the column name here, date of birth, and then go and select the data type as what? Date and time. Scroll down and click on OK. Now I'm creating a list here called employees. In this list, what columns I'm creating here is the columns: title column, employee name, job, salary, department number, email ID, mobile number, address, and date of birth. These are the column names. These are the data type of those columns. And if you see, email ID column and mobile number column are required columns. So this is the list schema. Schema means what is the list name and what columns is there, what is the data type of that columns. And now see, I want to change this column name from title to employee ID, guys. Now how to change the columns? If you want, once the columns are created, if you want to do any changes in the columns, let's say if you want to change the column name or if you want to change the data type of those columns, go and select the column, guys. Which column you want to edit? Select the column. Let's say I want to change the name of this column. Click on this column called title. When I click on it, now see, it is keeping what? Edit the column. Now what I want to do here is I want to change this column name from employee number to employee ID. Now once after making it as employee ID, I want to make this column as required and also unique values. Why? Because each and every employee will have the unique values, and also this column mandatory need to allow some values. So just go and click on the OK button. Now see, I am changing the column name from title to employee ID, and also it is what column now? Required column. So like this, you are able to create the columns in the SharePoint, guys. This is the schema of the list. What is the list name? Employees. What is the schema of that list means? This is the schema. Now once the columns are created, now go to the list called employees. Go to the list called employees. Now this is the list I created, guys. Employees is my list. In this list, what columns is there? Employee ID column, employee name column, job, salary, department number, what is the employee email, and also what is the employee mobile number, what is the address, and what is the department number. Like this, I'm creating one list. So just now we discussed about how to go and create a list. Let me keep here how to create a list, and also we discussed about how to add the columns to a list. Discussed about how to go and create a list and how to add the columns to a list. Now fine, once after adding the columns to the list, now my requirement is I want to enter some data into this list. Now how to go and enter the data? Entering the data is nothing but next one is I want to insert the data into the tables, I want to update the data in that list, or I want to delete the data in the list. Let me show you how to go and insert the data first. Now see, not to go and insert the data into the list, there are 2 ways where you can go and insert it. So what are the two ways is, first of all, let me go and click on this edit in grid view. When I click on this edit in grid view, now this list is in the edit form, then you are able to go and enter the data. Just go and click on this edit in grid view. Now see, it is allowing us to enter the data here. Let's say what is the employee ID. 101 is the 101 is the employee ID. Next, what is the employee name? Let's say Warner is the employee name. What is the job? Job is what column? Choice column. Now see, I'm having the choices here. What is the job he is doing? Let's say he's working as a data analyst. What is the salary? Let's say 20,000 is the salary he's getting. Under which department the employee is working? It is also a choice column. Let me select the department number as 10. Next, what is the email ID? Let's say I'm keeping the email ID as warner123 at the rate gmail.com. And next, mobile number. Let me enter some random mobile number, guys. This is the mobile number I'm entering. Next, what is the address? Let me keep the address as Hyderabad, or let me keep the door number first. See, this is as 150. Next, Hyderabad. So you can enter the multiple columns, multiple rows also in this list. But I'm keeping only 2 rows here. Why? Because if you increase, automatically the height will be increases. So I'm creating only 2 values here. What is the door number and what is the city? Let us say Hyderabad. See, address column is what column? It is a multi-line of text. So you can enter the data in the multiple lines. So once after keeping the data here, just go and click on this save. Now click on this save. Now see, this is the address. Next, I want to take the date of birth. I want to enter. Now when I go to the date of birth column, you can see here called an icon, calendar icon. Just go and click on it. Now you can select the date of birth from here. You can select the year, you can select the month, or you can select the date. Let me select any one of the date, guys. Let me select any one of the date of birth, whatever it is. Like this, you are able to insert the data into the list. So one way is by using what? Editing grid view. Now once after entering the data, now go and click on this again. Exit in grid view. I want to exit from the grid view. Now just go and click on the exit in grid view. When I click on the exit in grid view, automatically that record is going to be stored. So this record is going to be stored. This is the one way to insert the data into the list. What is that one? With the help of editing grid view. Now what is the another way to insert the data into the list means? So there is an option here called new. When I click on this new, it is going to open one form like structure, guys. Now see, it is opening one form like structure. Now here you are able to go and enter the data. Now let's say employee ID 102. Let me keep the employee name as Smith. Let me keep the job. Job is a choice column. Let me select the job as a senior associate. Next, salary. Let me keep the 30,000 as a salary. Next, department number. Let me keep the department number as 30. Next, what is the email ID? Smith123 at the rate gmail.com. Next, mobile number. Let me enter some random mobile number. Next, address. Now what is the address? Let me go and enter the address here, guys. Let us say, let me keep here as Hyderabad. Just I'm keeping only two columns, two rows here. Just go and click on the save. Once if I click on the save, it is taking the address. And next, date of birth. Let me go and enter the date of birth here, guys. Just go and click on this calendar icon. Now it will opens the calendar here. Now you can go and select the date of birth. Let me select any one of the date of birth. Now once after entering the date of birth, now you can go and click on what? Save. Or in the bottom also there is an option called save. So either you can go and click on the top or in the bottom. Let me click on the save button here, guys. When I click on the save, now see automatically the new row is added. So like this, there are two ways you can go and insert the data. What are the two ways? One is by using the editing grid view, and second one is what? Go and click on the new geo option. When I click on it, it is opening one form like structure where you can go and enter the data into the list. Now these are the two ways we're able to go and insert the data into the list. And next up, how to go and update the data in the list. Now in order to go and update the data, let's say what is the salary of this employee when he joined the organization. Warner salary means 20,000. Now I want to update his salary from 20,000 to, let's say I want to update it to 35,000. Now how to update it? If you want to update the data, there are two ways to update the data again. Again, go and click on what? Edit in grid view. When I click on this edit in grid view, now you are able to edit the data here. Now say I want to change what? Salary. Go to the salary. Just remove this and let me go and keep here. What's the new salary? Let's say 35,000 is the new salary. Once after entering the new salary, again go and click on what? Exit in grid view. When I go and click on the exit in grid view, now see I'm able to update the data. Update means modify. Already the previous salary is 20,000. I'm updating the employee salary from 20,000 to 35,000. This is the one way to modify the data, to update with the help of edit in grid view. What is the another way is select the row, which row I want to edit, select the row, and there is an option here called edit icon. Select the row which row you want to update, and then go and click on the edit. When I click on the edit, now see which row you are selecting, that row details you are able to see here. Now what is my requirement here is I want to change the employee department number from 10 to, let's say I want to change it to 20. Once after changing the department number, again go and click on what, save. When I click on the save, now see previously his department number is what, 10. Now it is update to what, 20. So like this you are able to update the data in the list in two ways. One is by using the edit in grid view, and next one is go and select the row which row you want to update, and then go and click on what, edit. And I click on the edit, you are able to see the data here, and you can modify the data, whatever the modifications you want to do. So like this, there are two ways to modify the data in the tables, to update. And next one is I want to go and remove the data in the list. How to go and delete the data in the list. Now to delete the data in the list, go and select the row, which row you want to delete. Now I want to select the second row. Let's say I want to select the second row, 102. Select the row, and then go to the three ellipses here. Go to the three ellipses, and you are able to see an option called delete. Now when I go and click on the delete, which row I am selecting, that row it is going to be deleted. Now see when I go and click on the delete, now it is asking some second level confirmation, delete. Are you sure to delete the record? Yes, I want to delete it. Just go and click on yes button. Now see, automatically I'm not able to see the 102 record. So like this, you are able to remove the data from the list. How to remove the data means select the row which row you want to delete, go to three ellipses and click on the delete option. So this is the way how to go and insert the data, how to go and update the data, and how to go and delete the data from the list. And next we need to understand here how to reorder the columns case. Let me go and keep here. How to reorder the fields or columns. How to reorder the columns in the list. How to reorder the columns in the list. Now try to understand. To reorder the columns in the list, there are two ways you can go and reorder the columns in the list. One is in the list view. One is in the list view, and the second one is in the form view. You can reorder the columns in two ways. One is in the list, and second one is in the form. Now first let me show you how to go and reorder the columns in the list view, and then I will show you the form view. Now go to the SharePoint. Now try to understand guys. Now what is my requirement here is I want to reorder the columns in the list. Reordering means exchanging the column names. Now try to understand. I want to bring this salary column before the job column, and I want to bring this job column to after the salary column. I want to reorder the columns here. So there are two ways where you can go and reorder the columns. One is just drag and drop guys. Select the column and drag and just drop it wherever if you want to keep. I'm dragging the salary column and placing it after the ename column. Now when I go and drag it, now see, now what is the third column? Salary column. And what's the fourth column now? Job column. So like this, just dragging and dropping the columns in the list, you are able to change the order type in the columns. So let me drag it again and let me go and place it here after the job column guys. Like this you are able to reorder the columns just by dragging and dropping. Now what is the another way to reorder the columns in the list means go to the settings, go to the settings, go to the list settings. In the list settings, scroll down, there is an option called view. So view means list view. Go and click on the all items. When I go and click on the all items, now see from here you are able to see here guys, in that list display what columns you want to display. These are the columns I am displaying currently. And what is the position of that columns from the left side? Position from left side. From the left side of the list, what is the position of employee ID? First column, first field. What's the position of the ename? Second position. What's the position of job? Third position. So let us say I want to reorder the positions here guys. I want to bring what? I want to make this salary column in the third position, and I want to bring this job column to the fourth position. Now if you want to change the positions means go to the job column. Currently it is in the third position. Click on this drop down. Let me change it to fourth position. When I change it to fourth position, now see what is the job column position means? Is in the fourth position. What is the third position now? Salary. Now once after changing the positions here, scroll down, just go and click on what? Okay. When I go and click on OK, and now see, now the columns is it reordered or not? Yes. So previously job column is in the fourth position. Sorry, salary is in the fourth position, job is in the third position. But I'm interchanging here. I'm reordering the columns. So there are two ways. Just drag and drop the columns. And another way is go to the list settings. In the list settings, there is an option called view. Go to the view, click on this all items. From here, you are able to change the position from the left side. What position you want to keep those columns or fields, you can change the positions here. So this is what how to go and reorder the columns in the list. I said that you are able to reorder the columns in two ways. One is in the list view, and second is what? Form view. I said that two ways. One is list, second one is form. So just now we discussed about how to reorder the columns in the list. Now what is the form structure? Now see, previously what is the third column? Job. What is the fourth column? Salary. This is the previous order. Now let me go to the form mode. Go and click on this new. Now see, when I go to the new, when I click on this new, it is opening one form like structure. But in the form, what is the third column is there? Job. But in the list, what's my third column? Salary. So the ordering the columns in the list is different, in the forms also different. You can go and read the columns in the list mode separately and also in the form mode separately. Now in the list mode, list view, the third column is salary, but in the form view, the third column is what? Job. Now here also, if you want to make this salary column in the third position and job column in the fourth position, means now how to reorder here in the form mode. If you want to reorder the columns in the form mode, go and click on this edit form. Go and click on this edit form. When I click on the edit form, there is an option called edit columns. Go and click on the edit columns. Go and click on what? Edit columns. Now see, what's the position of a job? Third position. Now just drag it and keep it after the salary column. Now see, what is the third position? Salary. This is the one way. Otherwise, go and click on these three ellipses. You can move up and you can move down. So I'm changing the columns here also in the form mode, guys. Now just go and click on it, and now see what is the third column now. It is not changed. Let me go to this, click on edit. Let me bring this to after the ename, and let me change it to here. Let me go and click on the save. I haven't saved it previously. Just go and click on what? Save. When I click on save, now see what's the third column in the form now? Salary. What's the fourth column? Job column. Like this, if you want to change the order of the form, means yes, you can go and change it. So you can reorder the columns in the list in two ways. One is in the list mode, second is in the form mode. So the order of showing the columns in the list is different, and the order you can change, you can show in the different order in the form. If you want to say keep the same order in the both, means you can drag and drop the list items in this list view. Let me keep it as usual, guys. Let me bring the salary to fourth position and job to third position. And if you want to change it in the form also, go to the new. It will opens the form here. Now go to the edit form, go to the edit columns, and let me change the here also. Drag the job column and keep it after the ename column. Once after doing this, go and click on what? Save. Now see, in the form also the third field is what? Job. Like this, you are able to reorder the columns in the form mode and the list mode. This is what how to go and reorder the columns in the list mode and also in the form mode. And next, I want to hide the columns, guys. How to hide the columns in the list. Now if you want to hide the columns, you can hide the columns also in the two ways. Now you can go and hide the columns in the list view, and also you can go and hide the columns in the form view. Now let me show you how to go and hide the columns, guys. First let me show you how to hide the columns in the list view. Let me go to the SharePoint. Now see, these are the columns I'm having in this list. Now what's my requirement here is, I don't want to show this department number column, guys. I want to hide this column. Now there are two ways to hide the columns. One is just to go to the column department number. There is an option called column settings. Go to the column settings. In the column settings, there is an option called hide this column. When I click on this hide this column, now see, I'm not able to see the department number column after the salary. You are able to hide it in the list view. And there is another way where you can hide the columns in the list. Go to the settings, go to the list settings. In the list settings, scroll down, go to the view, go and click on all items. When I click on the all items, now see display, display what columns you are displaying. These are the columns I am displaying. Just now I am hiding one column. What's the column? Just now I hide it. Department number column. Along with the department number column, I want to hide the job column also. So uncheck this job column. So uncheck means I'm not going to display this column now in the list. Uncheck the column job, scroll down, click on the OK button. Now when I click on the OK button, now see, I'm having the job column after the ename column. No, I'm not deleting this. Just I'm hiding the columns. So this is the two ways. One way, go and select the column, go to the column settings, and then go and click on here, edit this column. Another one is go to the settings, go to the list settings, scroll down, go to the view, click on the all items. Now from here, you can go and hide the columns. Just now I am hiding two columns. One is job column, second is what? Department number column. If you scroll down here, you are able to see those columns here, guys. One is department number column, another one is job column. This is the two columns I'm hiding. Now I want to show these columns again now in the list. Now how to show these columns again? Select the department number column and also select the job column. Selecting means I want to display them. So once after selecting the columns, scroll down and click on the OK button. When I click on the OK button now see, I'm able to show those columns again here. But now it is displaying where? In the last. If you want to reorder this, you can go and reorder. Bring this department number column after the salary column, and then go and bring this job column before the salary column. Like this, you want to reorder means yes, you can go and reorder this. Like this, we are able to hide the columns in the list. Next, how to hide the columns in the form mode. Let's see. If you want to hide the columns, go and click on this new. When I click on this new, now see, this is the columns I'm able to see it here, guys. These are the columns I'm able to see. Now, what's my requirement here is I want to hide the job column in the form view. In the form mode, I want to hide this job column. I don't want to see it. Now, how to hide the columns means open the list in the form mode, go to this edit form, and then click on the edit columns, and then now see here, uncheck the job. Here uncheck the job, and then go and click on what? Save. When I click on save, now see, I'm not able to see the job column here. Before, between ename and salary, I'm having the job column. Now I'm able to see it. I'm not able to see the job column. But just close it. Now see, in the list mode, I'm able to see the job column. But in the form mode, I'm not able to see. So you can hide the columns in the list mode. You can hide the columns in the form mode. Both you can do it. So this is how to go and hide the columns in the list and also in the form mode. Let me do one thing. Let me make that column as visible. Let me select this where it is, job column, and click on the save. Now see, I'm able to see the job column somewhere in the bottom. If you want to rearrange it, already we discussed how to rearrange the columns, how to reorder the columns. So this is how to go and reorder the columns in the list. Now once after reordering the columns, or once after hiding the columns, the next topic we are going to discuss here is how to share the site to the users. How to share the site to the users, or how to add the users to a site. Now let me show you how to share the site information and how to add the users to the site. So there are two ways where you can share the site to the users. One is by direct sharing. One is by direct sharing, and second one is with the help of group sharing. One is with the help of direct sharing, and second is what? Group sharing. So let me show you how to go and share the site information to the users, both how to share the site information directly to any one user, or how to share the site information to group sharing. That means for a group of people, how to share the information. First, let me go and show you how to share the site information to a particular user, direct sharing. Now, to share the site information, go to the site, go to the site. This is my site. Go to the settings, and there is an option called site permissions. There is an option called site permissions. Go to the site permissions. Now see, directly from here you can add the members. If you whoever you are adding here, those are members. So always it is not recommended to go and add the users from here. Once after clicking on the permissions, there is an option here in the bottom, advanced permission settings. Go and click on what? Advanced permission settings. Just click on the advanced permission settings. When I click on it, now it is going to open the SharePoint from where you can go and share the site information. Now see, this is the place from where you are going to give the permissions to the users. Now, first let me show you how to share the site information to the users through direct sharing, guys. Directly how to share it. So if you want to share the site information to the users directly, go and click on this permissions, go to the permissions and go and click on what? Grant permissions. Directly go and click on the grant permission. When I click on the grant permission, now it is telling us to invite people. Enter the user, to which user you want to share this site information. Let's say I want to share the site information to Sunil Kumar. So he is one of the user in my organization. So let me select the name as what? Sunil Kumar. To this user I want to share. This is the username. Once after adding the username, if you want to keep any description, why you are giving the access for this site, you can keep some description here. I'm not keeping a description for now. It is optional. Now you are able to see an option called show options. Click on this show options. Now see, when I click on this show options to this user, what permissions you want to give. I said that there are different roles is there, right? There are different roles is there, site roles. Now what is the role you want to assign for this user? Now if you see, there are some select the permission levels. When I click on it, what type of permissions you want to create? You want to create the full control. Full control means admin. If you want to give him as a designer role, editor role, contributor role, or a reader role, which role you want to give? Let's say I want to give him as a editor role, guys. Editor means member. He is one of the member. Select that role as editor and then go and click on what? Share. When I click on the share, now it is going to send one email notification to that user. To which user? Sunil Kumar. So there is a site information shared with you. Please go through that. So just go and click on the share, guys. When I click on the share, it is going to share the information. Now see, shared with whom? Sunil Kumar. Now once after sharing the site information to the user, you are able to see that user here, guys. You are able to see that user here, to which user you are sharing. It will take some time. You will see it will take 1 or 2 minutes time to display that username here. So this is the one way how to share the information. Direct sharing. Directly I'm clicking on what? Grant permissions, and I'm going to enter the username here, and then I will click on share. This is the direct sharing. So directly I'm going to share the site information to individual employees or users. So if you share the information to the individual employees or users, it will take some time. So it is again and again you need to go and share it. So what I will do here is, instead of going and sharing the site information directly to a particular employee or an user, what I will do here is, I will create a group. I will create a group. In that group I am going to add the users. So let me show you how to go and share the site information by using the groups. So instead of going and sharing the site information directly to the users, what I will do here is, see, just now I added one user. What is that user? Sunil Kumar. What is the permissions I'm giving to them? Role. Now let me show you how to give the permissions in a group wise. So first of all, let me go and create some groups here, guys. Now see, whenever if you create a SharePoint site, by default SharePoint is creating 3 groups. What is that group? Batch 9 a.m. demo site, members. This group is for what? For whom? Members. Members is nothing but what? Editor. It is creating another group. What's the group name? Owners group. Full control. It is going to create another one more group. What's that group? Visitor. So what is the role here? Read. Visitor means he is able to see what is happening. He is not able to do anything. So by default, whenever if you create a site, SharePoint will create 3 default groups. What are the groups? Member, owner, visitor. If you want to add any user as a member role, then go to this list, you can add. Or if you want to add any user as a owner, go to this list and add that user. Or if you want to add any user as a visitor, go to this group and add that user. Now see, I want to create another separate group, guys. I want to create a group. Group name is control or editor, not control, contributor. I want to create another group. What? Contributors group. Here I don't have the contributors group. So if you want to create your own groups, yes, you can go and create it. Now how to create the groups means, Go and click on what? Create group. Just go and click on the create group. When I click on the create group, it is asking us to pass the group name. Let me keep here what? Contributors. Now, next, if you want to keep any description here, you can keep the description. And who is the owner? Myself is the owner. This is the default username I am taking. And next, scroll down. Now see, for this group, this is the group name. Whoever you are going to add the users to this group, what roles you want to assign? What is the use of creating this group? What is the roles I'm going to assign for this group means? Either you can go and assign the group as full control, designer, editor, contributor, or reader. These are the different roles. Now, what is the reason I'm creating this group means? I'm creating this group for the contributors. So let me select the role as what? Let me select the role as what? Contributor. So whoever I am going to add the users to this group, what is the user role? He's going to act as a contributor. So scroll down, select the group, which group, what is the roles you want to assign, what's the role of this group, and click on what? Create. When I click on create, now it is going to create one new group. Now see, what is the group name? Contributors is the group name. Now I want to add the users. Already myself is my default username. I want to add the users to this group. Now if you want to add the users, then go and click on what? Add users. Click on add users. When I click on the add users, again it is opening the same window. Here let me pass the username as Manoj Kumar. Manoj Kumar is another user case. When I hover the mouse here, now see in the bottom it is displaying that user email also, manoj@abtrainingshub1234. Now select the username Manoj Kumar and then directly go and click on what? Share. I think here it is adding it individually. Let me do one thing. Click on new. Click on this new. Let me add the user as Manoj Kumar and then go and click on what? Share. When I go and click on share, now it is going to add one more new user to this group. Who is that user? Manoj Kumar. To which group I'm adding him? Contributor. So what is his role? His role is contributor. Like this, if you want to share the information to the users through a group means, yes, you can go and share. Anyone, if there is another user is there, if you want to give the contributor role for that user, then directly you can come to this group. You can add that to that user to this group. If you add the user to this group, what is this? What is that user role? His role is a contributor. So like this, you are able to go and add the users in two ways. One is direct sharing and second one is what? Group sharing. You can directly share the site information to the users or you can not site performance, it is site permissions. Let me go and click on the site permissions. Let me go and click on the advanced permission settings. Now see, this is the group just now I created. Contributors is the group. What is the role I am giving for this group? Contributor. Like this, you are able to add the users directly to the group by using the grant permissions or go and create a new group. How to create the group? The help of create group. Once after creating the group, go to that group, open the group and then go and click on the add users to this group or go and click on the add users. When I go and click on the add users, it's going to add the users to this group. Whoever you are adding the users to this group, their role is contributors roles. So this is about how to go and share the site information, guys. There are two ways you can go and share the site information. One is direct sharing, second one is what? Group sharing. And next, I said that there are different roles, is there right? Site roles. Now totally how many roles is there? Just now we discussed. Full control, designer, editor, contributor. Next one is visitor, that is a viewer. Let me go and copy those site roles here, guys. Go and click on the create a group, scroll down, just copy from here, just copy this, paste it here. Now see, these are the different roles we are having. First one is what? Full control. Second is what? Design. Next one is what? Editor. Next one is what? Contributor. Next one is what? Reader. So these are the different site roles will be there. Whenever if you are adding the users to the site, what permissions you want to give them, whether you want to give the full control, Full control means he will act as a admin. He can perform whatever the operations you want to. Designer means he can view, he can add, he can update, he can delete, he can approve, and he can customize. Almost all permissions he can do. But the designer is not able to add the admins. If you are assigning, if you are giving one role for any one user as a designer, he is able to do all, but he is not able to add the admins. And next one is what? Editor. Edit means member case. Edit also will call it as what? Member role. Now what the editor can do means he can add, edit, and delete the lists. In the SharePoint, you can go and create the list, right? So whoever you are adding the user as an editor role, he can add the list, he can edit the list, he can delete the list, and also he can view, add, update, and delete the list items. List items is nothing but what? Rows, data. He can able to add the data, he can modify the data, he is able to delete the data, and also he is able to perform the same thing on the documents also. And next, contributor. If you add any user as a contributor, what is his role? He can view, add, update, and delete the list items and documents. He is not able to create, he is able to view it, he is able to modify it, he is able to update it. So I think he is able to add. Adding means inserting the data. He is not able to create a new list. If already a list is there, he is able to perform insert, update, and delete operations. Not possible to go and create a new list. And next one is reader. Reader means viewer role, visitor. So whoever you are adding the users to the reader role, they can view the pages and list items, and they can download the documents. He is able to just view it. He is not able to perform any operations. So these are the different types of site roles is there. Whenever if you are adding any users, if you are sharing the site information to any user, at the time of sharing, you need to go and set any one of these roles. Which role you want to give for that user? Whether you want to give the full control, whether you want to add him as a designer, editor, contributor, or a reader. So these are the different types of site roles and responsibilities will be there. So this is all about what is a list, how to go and create a list, how to create a list. Next, how to add the columns to a list. There are different ways to add the columns. Next, how to go and insert the data, update, and delete. There are different ways to insert, different ways to update, different ways to delete. And next one is how to reorder the columns in the list. In the list mode, you can reorder. In the form mode, you are able to reorder the columns. And next one is how to hide the columns in the list mode and also in the form mode. And next one, how to share the site information. How to share the site information through direct sharing and group sharing. And while sharing the site information, what roles you want to assign them. What is the role you are going to give for that user? That's you, whatever the user you are adding or whatever the user you are sharing the site information to that user, what is the role you want to provide? Whether full control, designer, editor, contributor, or a reader. So this is all about what is meant by a list, how to create and how to share the site information to the users. Fine. Let me stop here today. We'll discuss from here in the tomorrow's class. In the tomorrow's class also, I'm going to discuss another topic called content types. So what is meant by content types? When to go and use them, I'll discuss. Content types also comes under the list only, guys. Content types also comes under where? List only. So how to go and use the content types in the list, you'll be understanding in the tomorrow's class. So tomorrow also we'll discuss about the SharePoint third class. Once after completion of tomorrow's class, from day of tomorrow onwards, we'll start the actual classes. We'll jump into the Power Apps. So at what knowledge we need to have on the SharePoint, we'll discuss up to tomorrow's class, and then we'll jump into the Power Apps course. Fine. Let's go to the questions now.